One of my favorite things to learn about is like human nature, like the nature of the beast. The way psychology works and the human mind and what willpower actually is and stuff like that. And one of the things that I've come to realize just on my own, as well as in combination with all the other things I've learned, is that people, they really like to revert to what they know. This is why the wife stays with the beating husband. There's that syndrome where the rape victim or the sexual traffickers, and they'll escape and they'll get out, and then they'll go back just because it feels uncomfortable being free from that thing. And all too often, I this is something I fight with all the time, and I'm sure everybody else does too. Is I want to revert to what's comfortable. I want to revert to, I can depend on that 9 to 5 job, or I can depend on those people, even though they broke my heart, or they betrayed my trust, or something like that. Or, like, we always want to revert to what we know because we know we survived. And basically that's like that's the nature part, is we survived. So there's no reason, like, even though it sucks, it's not ideal, it's survivable, and we know it, and the pain that we know is better than the risk of pain that we don't know. And all too often, I feel myself thinking, like, there's no way I could be like Bill Gates, like, and not that I want to be Bill Gates, because I don't, that guy he has like some things that I don't really want, but I do want to be one of those guys like Gary Vaynerchuk, who loves his family but he works all the time, and he makes a lot of money and makes a huge impact in the world as a whole. But I often find myself saying, like, okay, well, Gary Vaynerchuk doesn't, like, he overcame the things that I'm struggling with, like he never even had to deal with them. How could I ever be like him? And that I fight that every single time it comes into my head. Every time it pops into my head that I, for whatever reason, couldn't become that, or won't become that, or can't become that. I have to fight that every time, because if you think about it, what does Gary Vaynerchuk have that I don't? Like, he came, if you know Gary Vaynerchuk at all, his family was an immigrant family. At age 16, he took his father's liquor business from a $2 million to a $60 million business, or stuff like that. Just all this crazy successful guy, and he's still a huge prominent figure. Guys like Mark Cuban and those guys that are on Shark Tank that can judge a business, whether it's profitable or not, it's a good investment. Those people are like, I want to be someone that is that good at business, that's that good at what they do, that people look to them for advice. And often I tell myself, well, I know that I'm good at these things, and I don't know that arena, and I've never done it before, and it's uncomfortable. But the key is that your mind has to reach that place before you actually do. And that's why visualization is kind of like a really powerful thing. Is if you just picture yourself in that role, your mind kind of becomes more and more comfortable with it. And there's no science to back this up or anything like that, but I dare you to try it. Just sit and imagine yourself in that role. Imagine yourself in that seat on Shark Tank, in my case, or imagine yourself, like, I imagine what my wife is going to be, or my kids. I imagine playing with my kids, and I imagine like having that much money in my bank account, and I imagine the house, and I imagine being free to do what I want with my time. You imagine all these things, and your mind, it becomes that place of comfort. And then whatever does not line up with that vision that you have becomes uncomfortable, and your mind, you now have your subconscious working with you to reach those goals. So I like I said, I dare you to try it. Just picture what do you want from life? Like, everything else aside, what are the things that you value, and what can you be that will get you those things? What is it, like, if you were the world's pro tennis player or whatever, like, whatever it is that your passion is, whatever you want, picture that. And just picture it over and over again. Picture it every day for 5 minutes for a week, and try and tell me that that's something that you still can't see. It's not even possible. I mean, it totally is. Like, there's not one person out there that I know that has anything less than I have. And I know I can make it. So if you're trying to tell me that you can't make it, then I'm insulted because, you know, I've got nothing more than you have, and I know I can make it. So you know, it disappoints me all the time. People say we look up to these characters, these people we see on TV and stuff, and try and think we can never get there. But it's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves, and it's really hard to overcome. And I get that. So like I said, just give that a try. Let me know what you guys think. As always, feedback. I love it. Love all the likes. Love all the comments. I love all you guys. Thanks for watching as always. I'll see you on the next one.